All right, so really quickly, I already got this one started. Our objective isn't to get it in general form, but to just find the rule. We're going to make this list right here on the side every single time. We are going to label everything that the question gave us. And in this case, it said there were zeros, -5 and 2, and a point, 3, and 16. So that is an X and that is a Y. If I list that out every single time and I notice that I don't have anything for HK and I have zeros, then I know I'm going to be working in zeros form. So I'm just going to plug everything in as I see it. So that -5, and then x -2. And then you can rewrite that as you wish, right? 3 plus 5. Oh, I should have put 3 there too. And then 3 -2. So to your question, Alex, basically, if I don't have it, that's what I'm looking for. And typically, all our questions are when we're trying to find the rule is let's find A. Next year, it'll be various parts that are missing, but I can tell you right now, this year, it's like the one that's missing is A.
Okay, so the rule finds A.
If I get A, then I can go. Then I can write it out, A Z1 Z2, and have the rule, and then I can use that for a whole. Now that whole front sheet there that has all the formulas. Now I can use all of those formulas because I have all of the values. Because you can't until you get A. So then it's literally just mathing it up now. A, 8, 1, okay? And then I'm going to just say, okay, well, that is going to be 16 is equal to A times 8, divide by 8 on both sides. A is equal to 2. So what is the rule? The rule is everything combined, okay? Y is equal to 2 x, stop shifting around, x plus 5, x minus 2. That is what we're looking for. Okay? Let's not worry about converting it. Let's just worry about getting it because now I can start to use this for other purposes. And I'm going to hopefully not give people some sort of sickness here, but going through this quick. Now, if you look at it, right? Now, if you look at it, we can utilize everything on. Stop doing that. We can start to use this formula sheet now. I have factored form. I had like A, Z1, Z2. So now I can find H if the question progresses to that point. I can find K if the question, again, progresses to that point and is asking for the maximum height. Okay, I was already given the zeros off the bat, so that wasn't that hard. And I'd be able to convert it to general or vertex form if I needed to find an X. So once I get the rule, I'm basically ready to kind of dive into larger problems. So the rule is everything written out in the form with the parameters that matter, A, Z1, and Z2. Okay? So let's take a look at, yeah, it's going to be, so I want to say -3 and 1. So a function with -3 and -1 is zeros and an initial value of -6. So I'm still going to label out AHK Z1 or AHK XY Z1 Z2. We can add y-intercept in there if possible, specifically for this guy here. So I don't have A, I don't have H, I don't have K. It doesn't seem like I have a point right now, and I've got -3 and -1. And what's another word for initial value? It's the y-intercept. So -6. All right. Doesn't look like I have enough. Except I do. So on this guy here, initial value, another phrase for this guy is the y-intercept. What do I know about the y-intercept? I know that my x is 0. Tegan, no. Let me just try and get this guy out because they can't hear. I've listened back to the videos. Just let me get it out. Okay. So I've got 0 and -6 as a point I can use. So this is the weird thing to wrap your brain around. Y-intercept of -6 is not just -6. it is an x and a y that I can now use. We would basically just follow through the same procedure now, right? I've identified it's in zeros form. So I know this is the form that I'm going to use, right? And then I'm just going to plug in what it is that I know now. So 0 plus 3, 0 plus 1, and then I would just rearrange and solve for a. So -6 is equal to a, 3, 1, -6 is equal to a, 3, and -6 is equal to a times 3. We'll divide by 3 on both sides. A will be equal to -2. So the rule would be y is equal to -2, x plus 3, x plus 1. That would be my rule. That's the whole objective of guys like this. Any questions on that guy before I move on? Yeah.
How do you convert it to general form?
If I wanted to convert this guy to general form, what would I do? I'm just going to do it here really quickly in front of you. X plus 3, x plus 1. I would FOIL this first, right? So y would be equal to -2 times x squared plus 3x plus 1x plus 3. Y is equal to -2 x squared plus 4x plus 3, and then multiply everything by -2. -2x squared plus, or sorry, -2x squared, -8x, -6. And then so now, why is that a good skill to have? And you're kind of, what's good about that now is if I needed to find an x value given a certain y, I could use that equation to then use the quadratic equation to then go ahead and solve for it. But again, I right now just want us to be practicing the let's find a, and you can see the rest of this page here kind of gets into vertex form. So I'll let you. What I may do actually is look at D really quickly, because it is a different form. So A, H, K, X, Y, Z1, Z2. So I see here it says vertex and point. So I have right now at my disposal 2 and -5 as a point, and my vertex is -1 and 4. So this guy is obviously going to be in vertex form. So this will be the one that I use, right? Squared plus k. So y is equal to a, x minus h squared plus k. What's tricky about this guy? That h is opposite, but the k is the same. I'm still just going to plug everything in as I see it, though. So that's going to be 2. This is going to be plus 1 squared, and then plus 4. Any questions on why that's 2 plus 1? Okay. So now we just rearrange and solve. As I told you guys before you do anything in vertex form, before you think about anything, get this 4 out of the way. If you don't move them first, you're going to screw it up, or you're more likely to. It's been where I've seen the majority of students make mistakes. So we'll move that over first to get -9 is equal to a. So he would go over here. And then 3 squared. -9 is equal to a times 9. And I apologize that my a's and 9 look the same, because that looks like either -a is equal to a times a, or so it's just to clarify, that's -9 is equal to a times 9. Yeah, that's what that's saying. So we'll divide by 9 on both sides, and a will be equal to -1. What is the rule in this case? Y is equal to -1. You don't have to write the 1, but I'm not going to mark it wrong if you do. Plus 1 squared plus 4. That's the rule of this guy. Now, Isaac, you wouldn't have to convert this guy because we can solve for everything we need in vertex form. So really the only one we have to be able to convert is the actual factor form.
Okay.
Like that's the only one. Like yes, it's asking to kind of do that, but it's like it's completely unnecessary skill.
So you just take the same like H, K, A, whatever from that and just rewrite it in general form? Or,
I just wouldn't put it in general form because like what's nice about this guy is that I can solve for x's, y's, like you name it. There's nothing I can't solve in this form.
yeah, I know, but it just said like
It did say at the beginning, yeah. I should have got rid of that.
you don't need
No, I don't. The only it is a skill set to develop, but the only skill set you really need to do is that when I find zeros form, that I know how to convert it to either vertex or general form. Yeah.
In number C, when it says the function with a unique 0, -2, would it be like Z1 is -2 and Z2 is 0?
So really great question. I was going to finish on that guy there for this video. You know, I should reorganize these here, but unique 0, man, that's an interesting one. First off, let me just do my list, okay? So what do you think? So A H, let's do this better. A H K X Y Z1 Z2. Let's just leave that for there. What do I have?
You have a point.
I have a point. -1 and 3. Let's get that out of the way. Yep. -1 and 3. What else? What else do I have? -2. And what is the -2? Z1. Okay. So just if you're a visual person such as myself, and again, I'm not entirely sure which way it's facing, but let's just say that this guy is facing up. What it's suggesting is that makes it a unique 0. It's sitting on the x-axis. Huh. That's interesting. What? So I only have 1 0. That's really weird. What can I do?
Well,
Can you see it?
your zero would be your
Yeah.
I can't seem to remember which, but it's H or K.
That's what it is. So you can actually use whatever form you want, which is kind of neat. But because it's a unique 0, so it's making you think I should be using zeros form for this guy because it says 0, right? But because it's sitting on there, that means that's its lowest point or its highest point. I don't know which way it's facing right now. I'm just going to say it's facing up. Okay? So if I have it like this guy right here, and it's facing up, and that's its lowest point, that means -2 is my H, and K is 0. So I could then use vertex form for this guy, and then it would work out. So I could say y is equal to a x minus 1 squared plus k. And it would work. It's really funny that it would do that. But it does. So we would basically just plug that guy in and solve for that one as well. I'll let you do that one on your own, as well as E, where it says a function with vertex 1 and -8, and one of the zeros equal to 3. I'll let you try those two on your own. Giddy up.